people of Mercury. I am your interplanetary host, Travis Montgomery. These views reflect one planet and one planet alone.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mercury's Cast. I am your host, Travis Montgomery. Today, I am joined by a lifelong friend of mine named Darius, and we're going to get into maybe some past stuff. We're definitely going to talk some MMA, try and get into some election stuff. Not a usual typical format show, although some people have recently abandoned me, so there is no typical format anymore. But we're flying by the seat of our pants, and that's what's going down. So, Darius, why don't you say hi to anyone that might be listening?
Hey out there, how's it going?
What's up to the couple dedicated listeners in France? We see you. I think it's I really think they came on board because some of my anti-Muslim because they got a serious problem over there.
Oh, they got a lot of it going on right now.
Yeah, and I mean, generally, I know that Muslims are peaceful people, but there are the radicals out there, and there's a percentage of them, and it's kind of a scary deal. But anyways, so Darius, why don't you? How long have you known me for?
It's only since birth.
What's your earliest memory of me?
You cursing in your high chair.
No,
non-stop cursing, just non-stop bad words. No mama, no daddy, just F this, F that, just non-stop.
Oh, that is not true.
One of my big memories, you walking on top of a dryer, and you were like 2, and you fell off, and the floor was concrete because it was in the garage. It was Damon's room. And you fell right on your head, straight down on your head. And you got up, you didn't even cry. And you walked out of the room. And I looked at your brother, and I was one tough kid. I said, because we thought you died.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, it was probably...
You stood up, and you just walked out. And I was like, whoa, that is one tough kid, man.
Dude, that is my son in a nutshell. He doesn't get mad unless his feelings get hurt. Like, if it was one of my siblings that had hit me, I probably would have cried because it's a different pain.
Yeah.
But wow, yeah, I don't remember that story, but I haven't heard it in a long time.
Yeah, I think only me and your brother saw it, and we sure as hell didn't tell your mom. So.
My son's the same way. It's like he likes to come out in the back of my truck and play with my tools, obviously because I'm an electrician now for a long time. And the other day, he got a pair of my cutters. He didn't cut himself with the cutting part, but he pinched himself on like the inner part.
Oh yeah.
But it broke his skin. It didn't bleed or anything. And it was like, I turned my back for 2 seconds, and he did it.
That's
and he cried. And then
2 seconds, man.
Yeah, 2 seconds. That's all it took. And so I bring him in the kitchen, and I'm trying to look at it, and then, it's fine. And then what's he want to do? Go right back out? He wants to play with the same tool. The same cutting tool. But, yeah, that's how us Montgomery boys are built, I guess.
No, Nick wasn't quite that way. It was just you.
Just me? I should have been a fighter then.
Oh, we thought you had a career coming. Yeah.
Yeah, if I would have stuck with it when I was younger. I mean, I was going to jiu-jitsu at like 12.
Yeah, where were you going? What school were you going to? Was it Fabiano's or?
Yeah, it was Fabiano's. You guys would take me. You and that.
My neighbor Cliff.
Cliff, yeah. What? Yeah, he's like the super nice guy.
Yeah, he's pretty rough on the mat, but yeah, he's pretty nice.
Yeah, I remember that. And, dude, I want to go back to jiu-jitsu so bad.
Actually, he was really nice on the mat. Really? He made me extremely good at jiu-jitsu.
Huh.
Because me and him would always go together, and we wouldn't try and hurt each other.
Well, that's how you want to do it. It's got to be like a flow. Not in a like wrestling is totally different than jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, wrestling's a lot more effort, for sure. I mean, you can do jiu-jitsu that way, but, wrestlers usually don't wrestle for 30 minutes straight, so.
Yeah. All right, any damn who.
Yeah, I got so many stories about you, you don't even know.
I probably don't. And I probably don't. And I mean, I look at some of my behaviors in my teens and my 20s, and I'm like, what the hell happened during my childhood? Because some of these decisions that I make are super unhealthy and questionable.
Yeah, that's life.
Yep. So give me another story then. I mean, lay one on me.
Oh, you were hurling, cursing at me, and throwing toys. I think Nick was in on it too. You guys were hurling like big plastic dinosaurs and stuff. Like, I was going to get injured. And I don't remember what I did. I don't know if I yelled at you and I cursed or something, or maybe I threw something back and your mom yelled at me. It's the only time she ever yelled at me. Darius, what are you doing? I expected better out of you. Look, I'm over here getting murdered, man. Come get these two villains.
It's like the one. Oh, man.
Oh, and Damon used to hang out with that gang member. He used to come over to your house all the time. Guy drove like a white Corolla. Had like skirts. It was lowered. And you guys got in a fight with him. Yeah, you and Nick got in a fight with this guy, and you chased him out of the house. And he was literally running from you two. And he ran in his car, and you guys were pelting his car with stuff. He took off.
Yeah. Shit that I can remember that we used to do is like so unheard. It just blows my mind. Like throwing rocks at cars driving down Gridley. Like what?
Oh, I did that.
What the?
I had a real unhealthy interaction at the age of 6. We were throwing rocks and we were hiding in the dark. Me and Jason Padacci, and we hit this. I actually remember the car, believe it or not. Even back then, it was a black Nova. And we hit this car, and the guy came to a stop and got out of the car with a gun right there inside my track.
Yeah.
And we were hiding under a motorhome. And I just remember I couldn't breathe. It was just like cotton got in my mouth. I could not breathe. And the guy, who the other effing hit my car? Screaming in the middle of the street. Man, that was pretty much the last rock I threw.
What stopped us was, I remember this story. And it was like we were throwing mud balls mixed in with rocks, Throwing them. I had my head over the fence, like Army freaking commando style. And I would be like, all right, throw. And like I got the timing down pretty good to where he would throw it, and the timing, it would be like
perfect.
Boom, it would hit the car. Yeah. And so, again, questionable decisions. I see a cop car coming down Gridley. I'm like, throw it. And, yeah, it right on the windshield, a good mud ball. And the cop, was not dumb. He knew where it came from and came to the door.
That's hilarious.
Where are the kids? Yeah, we're in the backyard. Of course. It's this kind of stuff where I just don't picture kids doing this kind of stuff these days.
Oh, man, I was driving the Dart. I was probably, 25, 30. I don't remember how old I was. Going down the street, I had someone in the car, and something hit the back window. Boom! And it was like a water balloon, and I just slammed on the brakes. Of course, the car like, Arr! And I see these little kids cheering, like they hit a car. And so I throw the sucker in reverse, and I do a burnout in reverse. Whoa! And, I'm getting out of the car, and I see this old man, and he's in a wife beater. I mean, this guy was old, and he grabs a kid by the back of the shirt. And he goes, don't worry about it, I got him.
Whoa.
I was like, hey, it's cool, man. It's just water. These kids were pretty small. I mean, they were pretty young. And I was like, yeah, don't go overboard on the punishment. It's just everyone throws a water balloon at a car at some point in their life. Dude. But yeah, this old dude, he grabbed him by the back of their shirt. Yeah, and his voice was just like that. He sounded like the guy in Reservoir Dogs, the guy that looked like Thing. He was assigning the colors. Don't worry about it, I got him. I was like, oh, man, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, back then it was just no supervision. And, before the
the
pedophile wave came about and where we kind of realized that kids were being touched or whatever. Not us. I mean, good luck trying to touch me and Nick. But,
yeah. I almost got picked up twice as a kid. One tried to kidnap me right in front of my mom. Yeah, right over there on Alondra and Gridley in the park.
So maybe it's better that we have better supervision because it was like we had free run. 6 years old. All right, I'm going on my bike.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was really fun.
I really think those cases are pretty limited. I think people are, you know what I mean? I mean, you hear one on really, how many are out there? I don't know. I had someone try to get a hold of my son on an airplane, and I didn't know what was going on until I got to the car. And I talked to my wife, and she told me what was going on. I thought the guy was hitting on her because I had to sit a row back, and he wanted my son to come sit next to him up in the first class, like trying to loot him with candy bars and shit. And I thought he was trying to hit on her. And so, man, I found that I was so mad, and I wanted to go back. I mean, airports got cameras everywhere. But I was like, I wanted to go back, get him in the parking lot, whatever. And then she looked at me, she goes, shields are everywhere. She goes, you want to see him, just go on that report that has them all on the map. What is it? Megan's report. What is it? Yeah, Megan something, right?
Jessica's Law? No, something like that.
Yeah, it's Megan something where they have all the predators. They're all around you. Okay. You can go on there and, you know what I mean? Yeah. She goes, they're everywhere. It's like, you're going to beat them all up? Yeah. It's like, I guess you got a point, but get one of them, I guess.
Yeah, it's just weird. It strikes me as odd because I don't know. Letting my 11-year-old daughter out to just ride her bike, I would probably be a little worried. I don't know why I would be, but I might be a little worried. Just to we used just ride the bike to get lost and try and find your way home. Like that, it's like they did. I don't think they cared that much.
Yeah, I know someone that worked at Daisy. Was it the girl that Lacey Dugard? The one that she got captured as a little kid and they found her when she was older.
Oh, yeah, that one was
Casey
weird.
Dugard? Lacey Dugard? Yeah, I know someone that was kind of connected with that and how horrible that was.
Degrade or something? Yeah.
That was Dugard, but yeah, I don't remember, man. Too many names.
We need to have a live fact checker for this podcast.
Yeah. It's like the UFC, dude. There's so many fighters now, especially these Eastern European, dude, with these names you can't pronounce.
You can't.
I can't remember one from the next until I physically see them. Yeah, and I'm like, I can't say their name.
You have to do fight tape study in order to stay up to current because these names are not memorable. They have so many consonants in them.
Yeah, 0 vowels, yeah.
And that's why a lot, when actors come to America, they change their name so it's more memorable. And
it makes sense, man.
I don't want to say people should do that, but it would be easier for us people trying to write about it. I was writing in 2013 for MMAmoney.com, who's one of my best friends owns it, and I'm writing for it again. I just did an article. It's up right now about the rest of the 2016 matchups. MMAformoney.com. Shout out. Go check it out. We've got some talented people that hand out picks on there. I don't do that part. I'm more of kind of like a journalist, hopeful, and you know that I've been trying to do that for a long time. So we got something going there. Go check it out.
You know, I've seen a big shift in when the UFC's pulling in a lot of Eastern European fighters, and I think I know why. And it kind of happened with baseball and other sports. And it's not that they're good. I mean, they're great fighters, obviously. I mean, you watch them fight, but they don't demand the kind of money American fighters do, especially when they hit stardom. They don't, because they're just happy, to be, out of poverty wherever they're at, making money in the big, under the big lights. Then the Americans are they're over the big lights and I want my money. Where's my money? They don't care how much they have, millions, and they, I think they're underpaid, don't get me wrong, but
I think the UFC is pulling in a lot of these Eastern European fighters because they don't have to pay them as much. But man, they're bringing in a ton of heavyweights.
Well, yeah, especially the Russians. I mean, some of those Russians, obviously, back in the day, Oleg Tektarov had 0 quit and 0 Fs given on any night.
Oh, I was just thinking about him the other day, man. And I looked him up, see what he was doing.
Well, yeah, what is he doing?
Oh, he was acting for a while. He was in a few movies. I don't know if you saw him. I mean, he does a pretty good acting job because a lot of these guys, well, the fighters, they get in movies, they look horrible. And then you realize, man, it really takes something to be in the movies. Like Randy Couture, I mean, he's probably not even the worst, but watching him in that movie with Stallone or whatever.
The Expendables? And I don't know.
The Expendables.
Yeah,
dude, Stallone you can watch for hours. The second Randy Couture starts talking on there, I wanted to throw a rock at the screen, man. And I like him, and he's better than the other fighters I've seen in movies. Like George St. Pierre movie was horrible, man. Well, besides the one they gave him when there was no talking, but
he's like
I like him a lot when he interviews and stuff. But it's different on the big screen, man.
He's a robot to begin with. I mean, he wasn't. You gotta be like charismatic and have some kind of personality in order to be an actor, and you can have your face in your name or whatever, but it's not gonna amount to necessarily a successful acting career. Although I think Ronda Rousey did pretty good in the Entourage. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. See it.
She did pretty good. She did. It wasn't like, and I know you and Damon were one of the people that got me to be like a big movie buff. And
oh my God, I've seen so many movies, dude, with him. We used to walk to Alondra 6 every single weekend.
Yep. You guys would walk there?
Yep. Oh, well, we didn't have licenses, so we were young, man.
So you'd walk down. Oh yeah, I guess it wasn't that far.
Yeah, walk down Gridley, man. Then hit we called it Alondra 6-shooter later on.
And then you guys would disagree on movies too. He'd be like, Darius told me this movie was good. I don't know what the hell he was thinking because that movie sucked.
Yeah, me and your brother would get into it sometimes. He really got into it over the De La Hoya and Trinidad fight. Oh man.
And De La Hoya won?
No, Trinidad won.
He thought I'd never liked De La Hoya.
And your brother wanted none of it. He was so mad at me. He's yelling at me. You know nothing about boxing. What fight were you watching? And I love to watch Trinidad fight because he'd always be on the balls of his feet. And he'd throw these wicked combinations. I always like watching that guy fight. And I thought he won the fight. It was close, but, But yeah, me and your brother would get into it on some subjects.
I slightly remember that. I never liked De La Hoya.
He was a good fighter, man. I mean,
he's a good fighter, but I just thought he was too pretty and prissy for boxing. I mean,
you saw him in the women's underwear, right? When they took those pictures.
Well, cocaine will make a man do some strange stuff.
I mean, he pretty much came out unscathed for boxing that long. I mean, his face ain't all, his nose ain't all flat.
Yeah, you don't know about.
He wasn't KO'd 100 times,
It's true. That's very true.
He's a pretty good boxer, man. He really was. I mean, you see all these guys now, they're aging because they've been in the UFC so long. And I remember what they used to look like. And now, man, their faces are jacked up. Everyone just looks beat down. It's not they're getting older, but, I mean, they look like they've been in some wars. Henderson does not look the same at all. I mean, Henderson, man, you look at that guy and you don't want to fight him because he's looked like he's been in 100 fights.
All right, I want to keep on going with Henderson, but first I want to go back to, did you come up with that Russians take less money than American fighters? Did you come up with that on your own, or did you hear that somewhere?
100%. It was all on my own.
That is crazy. And I mean,
you won't read that anywhere.
It's a cross between that and the UFC is also trying to break into a global market, which they really tried hard in 2013. It kind of failed. Remember when they had all those shows in China and South Korea or whatever, and it just did not work out. I mean, the fighters have no names. Their talent level was not there, and you can see that with the talent level. And some of these guys where people were like, "What the hell? What are they even doing there?" And so, but
well, I thought the UFC was really going to take off like in Mexico because they're really big into boxing. But it's the weirdest thing. They don't switch. They still love boxing.
Yep.
It's like Ultimate Fighter's cool, but Cain Velasquez, it's like, I thought, man, he'd have a huge following. And maybe it'll grow, but with the younger generation. But these guys, they love their boxing, and boxing's hard to watch, man. They've had so many bad fights that were supposed to be good. I mean,
it's not.
In the 80s, man, boxing was so good, Travis. Man, the matches were out of sight. The fighters were so talented. It was so much fun to watch. I mean, they had some really good matches. And even in the early 90s, and I used to watch them with your dad, man, all the time.
Yeah.
He'd order them. We'd be over there watching them.
He would order the Tyson fight, and he didn't really like it because it was so loud. Every time Mike Tyson would land a blow, it would be like, "Ooh!" I just remember that being a little kid and be like, "Ooh!" And those were some of my best childhood memories at that house were some of the Tyson fights.
Oh yeah, all I remember is everyone don't leave the room. Don't leave the room when he's fighting because he'd end fights so fast.
Yeah, it was great to watch, and as I got a little older and then started watching him diminish as a boxer, when I kind of knew what was going on, I was kind of like, man, even the rape, even biting Evander Holyfield's ear, I'm still a Tyson fan, still, and then now it's cool to be a Tyson fan again because he's doing all this other stuff.
Well, the cool thing, he's really candid about his life. You know, he doesn't make any excuses now, and he says everything that was going on. I mean, honestly, when he bit Holyfield, people don't feel this way, but Holyfield had it coming. He kept headbutting him. He headbutted him in the first fight. In the second fight, he did it again, and Tyson warned them before the fight, he headbutts. He told the ref did nothing. He had a cut. Did you see the gash above his eye when he bit him? He had a huge open in that from a headbutt. Because Holyfield leads in with his head, and Tyson's not the tallest boxer in the heavyweight, you know. And he's just headbutting him with that big old head of his.
He's got a really huge and round, long head. So I wouldn't want him to bump heads with me. That's for sure.
His head was made for headbutting, man.
Yep.
You missed the days when the UFC had headbutting. Guys used to win with headbutting all the time. I'm serious, man. They'd be pound, headbutt. Actually, that guy that Tank Abbott knocked out, he beat Steve Nelmark. I thought that was the first death in the UFC I ever saw. But Nelmark was pretty good, and he was headbutting people. But with both hands are tied up, and you're down in close and guard, you can headbutt's wide open, man.
I can't even imagine what that would be like if it was still legal. It would be a sport.
That's a good first move in a fight. Break someone's nose. Just headbutt him.
Yeah, I got a big head too. I got like a 7 3/4 head. It's probably why I survived that fall off the damn washing machine.
Yeah, you got cabbage head. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That guy could take a punch.
So back to the UFC, and I gotta be cautious because I am writing for a website now, but they are underpaying fighters for sure. They have been for a long time. And then when the Reebok deal came around, all the sponsorships got taken away. It's kind of like training camp. You have to pay some people, nutritionists, coaches, managers. You got to pay your gym. You got to pay, all this stuff. And a lot of fighters, he fights for World Series of Fighting right now. He just got offered an electrician job, and he's going to retire from MMA to do this good electrician job because he's pretty much broke, and he's had an 11-year MMA career. And
well, this is it. It's gambling because how much do you want to spend on your camp? you want to spend enough to win the fight, because if you don't win the fight, then you don't have a career. But you can't spend unlimited because then you don't have any money. So it's gambling. You're gambling on yourself, basically. How much money do you want to invest in your fighting? You know, a lot of these guys, they start out working and doing MMA at night or in the day. You know, they don't have a bunch of money where they can just train every day. Once they get to a certain level, they can. And that's why those guys excel. When they get the sponsorships or whatever level, then they're training all day. They don't have a regular job. But, I mean, every time you get in that cage, you're not going to win every fight. I mean, some people are trying, and they hold the record for a while. But it's a gamble, man. But these people that rely on striking just kills me because, man, one little miss, one little head dodge, one little punch you don't see, and you're out. It's lights out.
I know, man. It's very anxious when you bet on a striker, and then all of a sudden they're tied up and they're running against the cage and they fall, and it's kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
Like Carlos Condit and Damian Maia, I was like, God damn it!
Man, Maia really showed his jiu-jitsu in that match. I couldn't believe that.
He is a straight killer.
Dude, he blew through him because Condit was pretty good on the ground against other people, especially off his back.
Good. He's very good on the ground and off his back.
He blew through his guard. I mean, yeah. I expected Maia to do that early on in his career. The thing is, he started relying on striking again when Marquardt knocked him out.
Yeah.
You know, he started relying on the striking, and it's like, man, you gotta have to stick to we got to get this takedown.
He is a scary dude. So all right, back to the UFC. Underpaying fighters, and then two cases right now that have happened within the last week. George St. Pierre has walked away from the table. He's trying to be a free agent now.
Yeah.
Jose Aldo retired. You got to take care of those caliber of fighters. I'm sorry. I think that
Aldo had a meeting with Dana White today, and he said it went well. So, yeah. So he's
new breaking news.
Yeah, it looks like something's going to go on. So, might not be exactly what on, but it's something. I mean, he definitely should not retire at this stage. I mean, if he's done, he's done. If his heart ain't in it, then yeah, maybe he should quit. But I think everyone wants to see him fight Conor. I mean, I want to see that rematch.
I want to see that rematch too. The way that he looked against Frankie Edgar, and I bet on Frankie on that one. It was a really close line. There was kind of no argument. There's some Frankie Edgar, man. He's one of my favorite fighters ever. I just love that guy. And plus, my buddy Jason knows him personally. That lives in New Jersey.
Okay.
And just knows what kind of a dude he is. And I love me some Frankie Edgar. But, yeah, he got beat UFC 200. There's no denying that. And Jose Aldo looked great.
He looked on time, man. He just had it like it was just easy for him. He just had a pattern to it.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that he was going to fail a drug test, to be honest with you.
Those kicks were so loud in that fight when he hit him. Oh, my God, he kicks hard. Boom! Boom! And they said he kicked super hard. It's like, you can see it and you can hear it. Would not want to take a kick from that guy. Yeah.
No, under no circumstance. So the UFC is definitely headed another direction. It's not...
Well, all these layoffs and stuff, man, it ain't looking good, man. Laying off all these employees that have been there, it's...
Yeah, like Stitch and then Burt. It's kind of like... Well, they were part of the UFC field.
And Joe Silva's leaving at the end of the year.
Joe Silva's leaving. GSP's walking away. Chael Sonnen's fighting for Bellator. I mean, what the hell is going on here? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, fighting Tito.
Which is kind of like, that's so Bellator to do something like that. But
yeah, they have weird matchups. But, I mean, if they keep enticing these fighters over, eventually they'll be the next big game in town.
Yep.
They're not careful.
Which I think that's healthy for the sport. Because the UFC is dragging the sport in a direction that's probably not favorable. Of course, I'm always going to watch. I'm always going to be a fan. But I just don't like some of the moves that they're doing. Not even to sell. I mean, sell the company and and get out while you can. But when you see some of these, I think the Fertitas got out at the exact right opportunity, because I think after this year, after 205 and 207's going to do good. Now they got Ronda back. They got Kane versus Verdum, and then Dominic Cruz versus Cody Garbrandt. Now,
yeah, I just read that today. I was surprised they actually put that together, man.
It's still in the works, but it's going to happen.
It's just, you look at Cody's record, though, and it's like, yeah, it's 10 knockouts, but they're all like, who? Yeah. Like, who'd you knock out? You didn't knock out anyone in the top 10. You know?
But he's starching him. I mean, for the division.
Oh, he's killing. He might be a killer. I mean, there's no doubt he might be a killer, but he's got to fight some other guys above him, man, before he gets Cruz.
And that's the thing, is that this fight is sellable because there's beef. You know, the promos are going to have their face off.
That's why he did it. That's why Cody was coming at him so hard.
They almost fought a couple times.
And Faber was coming at him hard with it. You know?
Yeah, they almost fought a couple times outside of, the octagon. And so there's going to be drama leading up, and that's what they're going for.
My opinion on that, Cruz isn't going to stand in front of him and get knocked out. I mean...
Oh, no. I don't think he's ready for Cruz at all.
Cruz can be all over the octagon.
Dude, he's like Gumby.
Yeah.
It's like a Gumby mixed the Flash.
He's hard to catch standing. I mean, he's hard to catch him in one spot. He's just all over the place.
Yeah, I see Cody going in there swinging wild, and Dominic just being there and not being there, and picking them apart.
Yeah, and Cody if he goes 5 rounds, what's that going to look like? I mean, the guy swings with so much power. I mean, this dude's, he's swinging that much power, you get tired. McGregor's a classic case of that. He hits super hard, but he throws a lot of power, man.
So, what did you think about the McGregor fight? And I want to ask you, did you watch Bisping versus Dan Henderson?
Oh, absolutely.
So, I don't know. I think if at best that fight's a draw. 10-8 first round for sure.
Yeah.
Split, maybe the next.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, it's a draw. It definitely wasn't a Bisping win. I mean,
did you see what he looked like? I mean, did you see what he looked like? And Dan Henderson didn't look like he got them sparring.
He looked like he got jumped by 5 guys outside a bar. That's what he looked like. He looked like, and he had to go to the hospital. And yeah, he looked every part of that, And Henderson didn't even look like he was in a fight.
Right after, in backstage in the dressing room.
Yeah, my girlfriend was pissed. She's like, "What? How did that happen? What's going on? Look at that guy." I go, well, the truth was Henderson. No, he didn't throw a lot. He didn't control the center of the ring. But if the other guy's not really hurting you, I mean, really?
Okay, if that fight is at the Honda Center, Henderson probably wins. And what a lot of people don't realize, a lot of casual fans, is that I don't think there's a corruption element to it. If you're in Manchester, every time Bisping lands a shot, the crowd's going to go crazy, which is going to influence the judges. I've firsthand in Bellator, and it used to happen all the time in Brazil. The judges are swayed by the energy of the fans.
That was what's wild, is when the crowd in England booed Bisping after that fight. I was like, whoa. And they cheered and they cheered Dan Henderson. And Henderson was like, man, it was really, you guys booed me coming in, but you cheered me going out. He's like.
That's right. I do remember that. But, yeah, and what made me mad about that was, like, he's giving a retirement speech. Everyone shut the hell up for a little bit. So it got so loud, and they were drawing on so long that they had to take the mic away from Dan during his retirement speech. That pissed me off.
He wrestled at Cerritos College, right?
Cerritos College?
Yeah, Henderson.
Really?
Yeah, I think he might have been a teacher. I don't know. A friend of mine wrestled with him there. He said, dude, the guy was unbelievable. He goes, yeah, he just trashed everybody easily. This
people that
pre-MMA, before MMA.
Well, he went into. He had a couple fights in the UFC, and then it was Pride. But Either way, he had like zero experience, MMA experience, just a pure wrestler, and went in there and was good from the beginning. And from people that I've heard of talk about training with him, it's like you grab onto him and you're just grabbing onto like pure rock.
Yeah.
Like he's just so solid.
Well, dude, when
steel.
they did the weigh-ins, he looked in better shape than Bisping. If you look like his abs and his chest, he looked in better shape. And the guy's, he's 46 years old. I mean, who knows, but.
He's definitely a legend. One of my favorite fighters.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, those wars with Shogun, geez. And Shogun's one of my favorite fighters, too. Coming over from Pride,
when he came off those steroids and he fought Mark Coleman, I don't know if you remember that was his first fight in the UFC. They looked like they were fighting underwater in round one.
Forrest Griffin was his first fight, and he didn't look the same. Yeah,
I remember when he fought Mark Coleman when he first came back. Well, when he came back, and it looked like he was fighting underwater. He was so slow and sluggish. But all those guys that came over for Pride positively were on steroids. I mean, all their bodies changed big. And there's guys in the UFC, obviously, that are on steroids, but over there it was just completely unregulated.
They were handing them out.
Yeah.
But who was it? Ensign Inoue said he was offered them by like Pride officials or people that work for the company or something.
There's a guy with heart in a fight, man.
Old school.
His fights were brutal.
Yeah. Cockroach. Well, what did you think about Conor Nate 2?
It's kind of Nate's boxing looked off that one. I honestly believe there was something wrong with him. He didn't look the same. Yeah, his boxing didn't look the same.
And what about?
He definitely wasn't 100% in that fight. And McGregor, it looked like he gassed again, just the same.
Was running. There's got to be something said to turning your back to your opponent and running. If Carlos Condit can get points fighting Nick Diaz doing that, being elusive, and John Dodson said he didn't get points, and then
just turning your back elusive. And just full on running because you're tired. Yeah, he did a lot though. I mean, that was a lot of running. He was on his bike.
Yep. It was fun stuff. I'm not really mad at. I mean, again, Nate took a lot of damage too.
Yeah, he didn't look good. Yeah, but like I said, he looked off. He definitely wasn't 100%.
What do you think? I think he's going to beat Eddie Alvarez.
Oh, I don't. Not at all.
No?
I think Alvarez is going to. Yeah, Alvarez is going to take him down. Chad Mendes was jacking up McGregor in that fight before he gassed, which it just like he gassed out of nowhere. But when he was taking him down, he was punishing McGregor. And he's gonna get taken down. And plus, his boxing is on point too. His boxing's better than I think his boxing's better than Diaz. And so he's just for a long night. Because when Dos Anjos stood up with him, I was like, dude, what are you doing? You can't trade blows with him like that. You can't get up there and just box him. You're going to get knocked out. Sure enough, boom. I was talking about it as it was happening. He got, clanged. He's a really good boxer. He's a really good wrestler. And it is a bad matchup for McGregor. But I see him taking him down. It's just ground and pound, man.
If he's able to get him down, then I think it becomes a different fight. But if he storms McGregor like he did Dos Anjos, I don't know. I think he's not going to.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got excellent boxing, incredible boxing.
He does. Yep.
And he's a pretty strong dude. I think he could take a punch. So, no, I totally see him winning that fight. I do not see that being a McGregor fight. I think it's a bad matchup for him. And I think it's going to be really bad for his career if he loses. If he loses by decision, he might be able to save face. But if he gets pounded out, man, he's not going to get submitted. But
Yeah, and if he can make that drop to 145 again, cleanly, because he's been fighting at 170 and then 155.
Yeah. I think he's good at 155 at his height and his arm reach. And he's all muscle. He'll be all muscle at 155.
Yeah, his legs are tremendous.
So. But no, I don't think that's a good matchup for him.
Huh. I know some other smart people that would disagree, but I totally agree with you also. If he gets taken down,
we'll find out.
we're going to find out.
They're slotting that for 4 hours too, man.
Yep, because there's a couple title fights, isn't there?
There's 3.
There's Misha. Yeah, so you got to do that.
And what?
Oh God, Wonderboy Thompson. Who?
Dude, that guy impresses, man.
Who has looked better than him?
Mr. Karate. That guy is super impressive.
Imagine if there was a Wonderboy, if UFC was around when you guys were taking karate, that guy would be your guys' freaking idol.
Yeah. We took Kung Fu, man. We never took karate. We took Kung Fu. That's what.
Well, I stand corrected.
That's like saying jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
We're still trying to kick and punch people with techniques, damn it.
Chinese is Kung Fu and karate is basically Japanese. That's about the difference. Totally different styles, though. The kicks, the punches, everything's different.
Well, yeah, one's more democratic and one's more
Republican. No, I had some things go on that people might see as misfortune, but I turned it around and made it good for me.
Well, I would expect nothing less.
And for some reason, I don't know, man. Like when you think the worst is about to happen for me, I fall fucking ass backward into a bed of roses.
Yeah.
It's like, this is really bad. And then what? I made a bunch of money on what? It's like, oh man, I have this. Oh, what else happened? Like, man, if I have one little bad thing happens to me, I have 10 good things. I'm real fortunate that way, man. Don't know why. Love it.
Hey, you've been good to people. So maybe life's being good to you back.
Yeah, it's a weird thing is I don't actually, dude, I get sick so rare. It's scary. I've probably been sick once in like the last 10 years.
Me too. I think it might be the beer.
Don't know when you're sick.
The only sickness I feel is a hungover on a Sunday morning after a UFC event.
Well, they can get pretty bad.
Yeah. As we get older, definitely. Not 25 anymore. I am going to be 33 this year.
Oh my God, dude. So funny how when people get older, they seem like they get closer in age to you. But when you're young, you seem like a million miles away.
Oh, well, it's definitely the truth because, life experience and, you knew me when I was 2, and you had already had, 14 years of experience under your belt?
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you, man. Good to talk to you.
Good to see you, man.
Look at us. We're all grown up now.
Yeah, right.
We're just little kids in a big boy bodies.
Yeah, I've reverted back to my original self. So, the uncautious, take chances.
Right
Life's
on, man.
funner that way. But my time's precious. That's why I was driving too far to work. I was making a lot of money. Most people think I'm crazy not to do it, but you can only drive so far. Traffic's just getting worse and worse, and you gotta draw the line in the sand somewhere. It's like, what's worth it to you? The money or your time?
Totally agree.
And I don't spend money. I don't spend very much money. I don't care. I don't have to have a new car. I don't have to have new clothes. Everything I do is on the cheap, but it doesn't bother me. So why am I turning in all my hours for money that I'm probably never ever even going to spend? Make my kids rich, but.
So are you also practicing Judaism? Okay, just kidding. Just kidding.
No, left that. What is it? 10 years ago? Yeah.
Is Tarman a Jewish last name?
Mm-mm. I'm not Jewish.
It has the man on the end, which could indicate.
That's not my real last name anyhow.
Oh, well, we don't need to get into that.
Yeah, you're opening up a whole book.
We don't need to. It's really fine. So let's talk about, we are in election season. In 3 weeks, we will have a new president. I think both these candidates are pretty much crap. What I really think is that there should be an option on the ballot that says none of the above. And if more people choose that option, then we start all over again with new people. I don't
this
trust
election seems to be the weirdest election ever in my life. I mean, these two candidates are just, I don't know, man. This is for the history books. This is such a strange election.
Yeah.
It's like the only way Hilary can win this is because she's running against Trump, who the guy just, his history's just riddled, man. Bad choices, you know? And you can look at it and be like, you know it's true. You can deny it all you want. You know it happened or whatever. It might not mean he's not the... I mean, I think Clinton was a good president, and the guy definitely wasn't a good guy, you know, outside of that. All the womanizing he did, but he could do his job. But I don't know. It's just... People are trying to... They really need to center on the issues, and I know everyone keeps saying that, and all they're doing is fighting each other. Just, you know... slinging mud on each other, and I don't even want to hear it anymore. It's like, just say what you're going to do, how you're going to fix things. Don't say you're going to fix things. Just tell us how you're going to, even though you won't. You know, I thought Obama was fixing healthcare, and he did it, man. He jacked it all up. I used to have $5 copays. Now it's $100 to see a doctor. You know, all of a sudden, I don't feel so bad. You know, I ain't going. It's going to cost me $100. See me in a grave. Could have been alive, but didn't want to spend the $100, you know? But I don't know what he did. I thought it was going to help people. It's just like a complete mess now.
Well, I think it helped a certain group of people, but for the most part, for most other people, it kind of screwed it up. And the mandatory healthcare thing was kind of like a communism move, in my opinion, because I never had healthcare. Even working construction as an electrician, I've been very careful and very fortunate that I haven't gotten seriously hurt.
Right.
But I've never really had health care. And then coming up, you know, I was going to be fined if I didn't have it. So now, you know, now we had to get it. And it's... Most people are not happy with it. Just put it that way.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it wasn't what I thought it was. I was okay with paying more to help people that didn't have it. That wasn't the biggest deal, you know? I think everyone really should have health care. I think it's unfortunate the system we had, but man, this didn't work.
Not at the rate.
Yeah, it didn't turn out right, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But now this election's going to be crazy. The thing is that kind of gets me hyped is like people are so crazy about right now. It's like dividing people, definitely. People are hardcore Trump, hardcore Clinton. And it's dividing people. And the funniest thing, I mean, if you're in California, man, your vote does not even matter. This state's already decided. I mean, there's a few swing states that can go either way, but for the most part, most states, they know what they're going to vote 12 years down the road. At that election, it's a joke. You want to go vote? I mean, if you're, you got to get out and vote, like the world's going to change.
So... Why are you saying the state's already decided? Just because everyone's going to vote Democrat, or is it
It's a Democratic state. It's heavily Democratic. I mean, it's beyond that. I mean, it's not even close. So you see all these Republican stickers. You have all these Republican friends, and they're a minority, man. They're in such a minority, and they're so avid about this and that. And it's like, man, in reality, you know, I mean, you can go vote, and maybe one day it's going to change, or you can believe that, but it ain't going to happen, man.
Well, the type of reform that we need is not going to happen in a presidential debate or a presidential election, like including Obamacare. And I think we're not headed for a good spot. Put it that way.
there's so many players in the game that we don't even know about as far as corporations and money and all that. It's just like, it's so impossible to unweave.
Yeah,
like Clinton's got such a huge connection to Wall Street that really bothers me. That they just continually will bail them out no matter what they do.
Right. And she can be bought.
You wouldn't think she would be, but yeah. Oh, yeah. And Trump's not taking money now, but why do you want to be president? It's not the highest paying job now, is it?
Yeah. I wonder if he even really wants the job or if this is just some kind of like goal of his. I mean, I wonder if he really understands that like his whole life, his whole personal life is going to be gone if he's president. He's not going to ever have his old life back, you know? He lives comfortably now. Hillary's a lifelong politician, and she could probably deal with it, but, I mean, does he really want it, or is this some kind of, like, personal goal for him?
I think he wants it pretty bad, but if he didn't want it, he really messed it up for any other Republican running, that's for sure.
Right. And, I mean, the stuff that he was saying in the beginning was kind of like it was almost like he was trying to purposely get, you know, disqualified, and then it worked for him.
Yeah,
I mean, he just said some of the most like no one says that stuff and gets away with it, but he was getting away with it, and
well, it just, you know, any news is good news for them, even when it's bad. At least you get media coverage. And no one can get their flipping camera and mics out off of him because he always says something so outrageous. You have to record it. You have to watch it. And you're just like, what did you do? What did you say? You know, let's go to past comments that guy's made. It's like, you said what? Like, you're nuts, man. You
right.
know?
And, well, in the same token, she said that's come out behind closed doors, you know, about Gaddafi and
these emails that are leaking.
It's just so ugly. It's so ugly. It's like, why are we forced to choose between these two people? Why can't we say, no, we don't want either of these people, and let's start over again, you know? Gosh,
well, what's weird, these presidential candidates, where do they come from? It's like, we're not picking them. They get put in front of us, and you get to choose, man. You're like a 5-year-old. Do you want a hamburger or do you want a hot dog? That's what's on the kids' meal.
It's a good analogy.
I want a taco. That's not on the kids' meal. You want a hamburger or do you want a hot dog?
I want a burrito.
It's not on the kids' meal. Yeah, it's not on the kids' meal. Well, I remember Obama came out of nowhere, man. I never heard of this guy. And all of a sudden, it was like, dude, this guy's going to be the next president. It's like, what? Where did he come from? He came out of nowhere, man. No, he was flying under the radar. Just like, I mean, not to compare him to a terrorist, but Bin Laden, they didn't know who Bin Laden was. No one even heard his name. They're like, who? What? It's like, yeah, dude, he did. He was behind that. It's like they didn't have any intel on him. They didn't know what was going on.
And then 9/11.
Trump came out of nowhere. You know, at least we know his name, but him running for president, I always thought that was a joke.
Yeah, so did I. It was very strange. Oh, Donald Trump's going to run for president. And then all of a sudden he's in these debates and, you know, he's getting all the spotlight.
Well, he made all these other Republicans pretty much look goofy. You know, I think the one that probably could have unseen him was that, and that actually is a woman that, I think her last name's Warren.
Elizabeth?
Yeah. Yeah, man. You see her go after that CEO of Wells Fargo? Whew. Yeah, she could have easily won, I think, a nomination and ran him over. But I guess she just didn't want the job.
Huh.
Yeah, because she's spotless, man. She's pretty good.
Did you watch the debate last night?
I caught most of it. I could only take so much, and then I'm just like, you know, I really just don't need to hear any of this. This is Hilary doesn't answer the question. She just completely sidesteps every friggin' question.
Oh,
like, do you even hear what he's? At least Trump will sit down and answer the question for the most part.
Yeah.
Then he'll go off a rant, but he'll answer the stinking question. She just doesn't answer the question. Just sidesteps it.
It's like
Starts
Hilary
talking nonstop, you know.
Hilary, what do you think about Trump's wall plan? Well, Vladimir Putin is hacking our emails. It's kind of like, what are you talking about? Are you a crazy person? Like, how do you relate the two? It's I posted a GIF on my on Facebook today. It was are you familiar with the Truman Show?
Yeah, Jim Carrey, the movie.
Remember when he's like when she's doing the product placement and why don't you just have some Ovaltine? Right? He's like, what are you talking about? Like, what? It's kind of like, what are you talking? Like,
I get that in emails, man. I'll ask someone a question in email, and they just straight up don't answer the question. I'm like, and I can't send them 2 questions because they'll only answer one. If you ever text someone 2 questions, they only answer one. So I'm like, I'm just going to ask them one at a time, just so we can be straight. And you ask them, they don't answer it. And it's like, I'm just asking you this, and you're telling me something different. Like, I didn't ask you about that. And that's what she does, man, non-stop. She's got the help of her husband on her side too. I mean, he knows the whole drill. She's been in the White House for 8 years before. She's in there now. You know?
I find that. Oh, hi, Maisie. Hi, pretty girl. My neighbor's dogs. I find it interesting that she never brings him up. Like, if one of the qualifications would be, I was married to a president for 8 years, I know how stuff goes.
Yeah, I know the drill. Yeah, why didn't she bring up that experience? They keep going back to when she was a senator, you know, and stuff she voted on that didn't get through. It's like, you can be president and want a bunch of things done. You're not going to get it.
Right.
Unless everyone agrees on it, or enough people agree on it anyhow. There's all kinds of presidents that wanted really good policies and stuff, and they don't get through. Because of lobbyists and big corporate. I mean, people, all big corporations this, big corporations that. But no, they want certain things, and they got the money to get it done.
So, are you going to be voting this election?
Absolutely not. That way I can complain about whoever wins and say, well, you voted for them. I didn't vote for them, no matter who wins. So
yeah, I mean, I'm either going to vote Gary Johnson or write in Harambe. I'm really considering writing in Harambe.
Yeah, I mean, really, I couldn't pick between those two, man.
I can't either. Although, I think a Hilary presidency, and I've said this before on the show, worries me a little more because she can be bought. She's taking donations from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates.
That's nothing new in our book, though. I mean, that's been going on forever, man. I mean, we've been taking money from Saudi Arabia forever.
Well, no, Clinton Foundation.
Oh, yeah, individually, yeah. But I mean, even as a government. And we were protecting them, and then they got mad, and they wanted our jets out of there. And it's like, you guys don't have an army, dude. Like, Saddam's going to march in here and steal everything you have. You have money, but you don't have an army.
Right.
You know, Iraq, Iran, they have armies.
Yeah, Syria is the present day Iraq when that stuff was going down. Seems like everything's coming to a head right there.
Oh yeah, it's going down, man.
I would just really like to avoid a war with Russia if we can, if at all possible. Can we please just do that?
I don't see that happening.
No,
there'll be a lot of threats back. Yeah, I don't see that happening. This is North Korea either. I mean, they can do whatever they want, but unless the guy's completely insane.
Well, that's funny you bring them up.
Be dead before we could.
Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, we had so many guns pointed at that guy. I mean, he does something real stupid. It's over, man.
Yeah, there's a segment on the show usually. I don't have one prepared this week, but it's called What the Hell is Going On in North Korea Right Now? And usually all you need to do is type in North Korean news, and it's just like this outlandish news article, and I'll read it verbatim, and it's just like that country is so crazy and twisted, like just nothing they do makes sense. It's almost it's almost joke. It's not funny, but it's comedic. It's not funny that those people are going through what they're going through. I mean, it's a basic totalitarian state or whatever. I mean, it's a modern day monarchy. It's just crazy. Those people are brainwashed. They have no idea what the rest of the world looks like. One of the things that I said a couple weeks ago was that when they got hacked, their servers got hacked. There's only like 28 websites that North Koreans can look at. Like they're cut off from the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to know what's really going on over there. I mean, to be honest with you, you don't know what's on the people's mind or what's going. Just got one crazy guy at the helm. Look at Saddam Hussein. I mean, he had a hold on his people. And as soon as they took him down, the people came out of the woodwork. You know how much they hated him the whole time, but then look how turmoil it is now, though. I mean, as crazy as he was, he kept it calm. I mean, it might have been wrong, but
yeah. Gaddafi in Libya too, and Egypt. I mean, it's just hard. It's hard. It's a hard call to make, In a lot of these places, we have this half in, half out policy where we know where the people are, and we don't go in there and get the job done and get out. We stay there, so we can It's a slow burn.
The thing is, it's not a single game going on. All these little mini games going on in the background. Who they want in power, what places they want to hold down. There's all these little mini wars going on. These little mini games, they're getting played out in South America. And when America wants something, the first thing we do is we deem them crazy, insane, they're not rational, or they're killing a bunch of people. It gets played over and over again. But you can't believe everyone's crazy. I mean, that just doesn't even make any sense. Zane was crazy. He, from what I heard, he asked to go into Kuwait. And when the ambassador, they didn't say nothing, and he just kind of took it as that was an okay deal. And then when he went in there, we were like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Get out of there. And he's like, well, I'm already here now. He's like, you guys gave me the nod. And he's like, no, we didn't. And then he was like, well, man, F this. I'm going full bore. But no, every time we go looking like Noriega, you never heard of Noriega out of Panama. Never heard of the dude. All of a sudden, he's the biggest drug dealer in South America, and we have to take military to go down there and get him. Like, what? Did we go get Pablo Escobar out of his place? I mean, we knew where he was at. They just
maybe he was a competitor drug dealer for the DEA or something.
Yeah, he wasn't going to extend the canal zone for them to, let them through the way we were doing. And they said, you're going to do what? And he said, no, I'm changing it. And they said, the hell you are. Then it came out, George Bush, and this is senior, not junior. But, all of a sudden he's the biggest drug dealer, and we literally took our military and went down there to get him. They're just like, whoa. But lets everyone else know in the world if you mess. I mean, look, that's what they were doing when they went after Saddam. Like, what did you say?
What'd you say?
Troops are on the ground, we're coming to get you. And then, we're not stopping there. We're going to Afghanistan,
Man.
So,
and we'll wrap this up soon, but something to say about all these different mini wars that we have going on is the defense contracts, the weapons contracts that are being handed out to all these companies. The
private companies?
Yeah. That is some
dude, that's where
they keep making these bombs and these guns and this ammunition, and they keep making them. They got to sell them, right?
Dude, that's so much. That's money in the bank. That's millions to these guys. They make so much money off weapons that you need someone to shoot them at, so we can make more. You make so much money off that stuff. That's so crazy, much money. I mean, it's a whole nother. That's what people don't understand. We're like, Trump was complaining about not going after, telling the guy we're coming after him. And they're like, oh, you're giving a warning. What happened to the element of surprise? Like, you don't think there's some kind of psychology going on? Like, they're telling him we're coming to get him, so maybe he'll leave and then we can get him? Because he's in a heavily fortified city. And if he thinks we're coming to get him, then he'll leave and then we'll get him? I mean, there's so many mini games that he playing on. And he's so simple about it. oh, why you warn him? MacArthur wouldn't have warned him. He's rolling around his grave. Patton's rolling around his grave. It's like, dude, you're an idiot. There's so many strategies going on.
Yeah, we didn't have the internet back then.
It's not that basic. You don't know the full story, you know? In the White House, they know the full story what's going on. Strategically planning that stuff, but they're not that stupid.
Yeah, he acts like a little kid to me in some of the stuff that he does. He's just like a little kid.
Yeah, he tries to oversimplify some stuff. Just gets old. But I don't know, unless he's got a bunch of secret voters, which he may have because people don't want to be outward about their voting for him.
I don't see any comments.
Who knows?
All right, you guys. I am going to jump off.
All right, well, it's been real, man. It's been good talking with you. Hopefully we could do this again some other time.
Absolutely.
I still didn't tell you why we moved to Bakersfield, but we could save that one.
Yeah, trying to figure that out.
I'll let you speculate for now. You don't have to hang up, but I'm gonna end the broadcast.
Okay.
So for anyone that was listening, and if you made it this far, then God bless you, and thank you for listening to Mercury's Cast.
Do you right?